This lad's discussions meme is...
Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Stop saying that. People will start shipping us.
According to my databases, you two are already being shipped.
Son of a bitch!
Everyone ships everyone these days.
If you wish to send us memes, just so you can get a shout out at the start of these videos, be sure to send them to our Twitter handles. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Recording this episode because my OBS is fucking up. Here's Shawnee.
Let's give cheers to the #1 video trending on YouTube today, which is what we're about to talk about.
And joined with us is someone who I'm pretty sure knows everything about the next combatants after this episode, your only mate.
How long before people get that joke? I give it 5 minutes.
Wrong, mate.
I mean,
it was 1 minute and 10 seconds. Idiot.
Wow, that was very helpful.
Says the one who quoted the episode.
That is true. Although speaking of episodes, though, I feel as though. By the way, I should probably actually say, but yeah, Sean is recording. So if you're wondering why my audio sounds a bit like, what's the word? Like, if you're hearing a bit of static in the background, yeah, usually I edit my microphone so it doesn't sound as staticky, but I can't do it if someone else is recording my audio. It's a really shitty system.
Yeah.
So, OBS, sort your shit out. Hopefully your next update makes it easier for us.
This is why I'm glad my OBS doesn't fuck up.
Yeah, don't make us go, oh, BS.
Nice. I like that. Although, speaking of BS, let's give a special shout out in this video because we had a very nice comment from. He's somewhat known amongst like Death Battle content makers. Carlos is back, people, and he.
What the fuck is that username?
Yeah, well, I did in YouTube.
No,
Studios,
seriously, like what is that? What even is that?
It's secret
Given
coding.
Given the fact there is a PF and 5UC, I think that YouTube's trying to say this person fucking sucks.
God damn it, no.
But
You're supposed to hit the button.
Yeah.
I suddenly missed those Xbox gamer tags where it was XXX_something XXX.
So Carlos decided he wanted to make his return and decided to call the lads stupid because some of us think Ben 10 wins and Darth Vader wins, and frankly, if you disagree with us, cool beans, no worries. And I politely pointed out to him that, you know, this is the reason you got mocked in the first place and you started complaining about it on your channel before you deleted it, so the fact you called us stupid as well, it's like, what, do you really expect us to be nice? And then he acts like a 5-year-old and starts copying my replies. It got to a point I called him stupid, and he decided to do the oh-so-petty thing, which I'm going to immortalize it in this video for you, Carlos, since you wanted this attention. He tried to even spoil the episode, luckily 13 minutes after I actually watched the episode, so big oof. Yep, he deleted this comment, but thanks to YouTube Studios, it holds on to comments. So,
okay, a little peek behind the curtain, but I love that you marked it as a spoiler for us.
Yeah, I copied it down from our previous discussion, but yeah, Carlos, this is your name right here. And do you know what's even funnier, Carlos? Before I actually start do my reaction, I do this thing where I mute the words Death Battle, Frieza, and Megatron before my reaction. And after my reaction, I cancel it so people can leave comments. So, you done fucked up, mate.
Can we all?
I also just don't look at my phone.
Can we all agree
that
for once Steve is better than somebody?
Yep, Steve the Elephant, come on in here for once, Stephen. How about you give this image a kick in the arse? All right, now fuck off.
Damn, he kicked it to the moon.
Yeah. Okay, joking aside, people, look, I always have to deal with, like, certain trolls that appear in my comments. I mean, I remember when I first started doing YouTube, I had, like, those porn linking comments that were always under my videos to the point I had to get YouTube Studios so I know when they're about, because people might click on the links and then they get a virus. I've not heard anything about that ever since. But yeah, I don't mind if you disagree with us. You're free to say what you want about an episode. When you start throwing insults and try and be petty like this, I'm not going to block you, but we are going to start mocking you for it.
Leave being petty to one of the combatants.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of petty people, Frieza versus Megatron came out, and this episode was... Go ahead, mate.
It was awesome.
Number one
It was...
trending episode.
It was a pretty dang good episode. But I have things to say about it. So right off the bat, let's talk about the analysis. Honestly, I don't want it to sound like it's a standard death battle analysis, but there were highlights in it that made it memorable.
Like the fact that Frieza likes Yamcha because of DBZ fighters.
Yeah, he actually considers Yamcha handsome for his race.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a good compliment, really. It's funny, as much as I remember playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, I actually completely forgot there was a story mode in that game. I never selected it. Me and my mates just played it.
I mean, it's a fighting game. When do you care about the story mode? Oh wait, Mortal Kombat, right.
Okay, to be fair, Mortal Kombat does have a pretty sick story. But yeah, so many people... Actually, this was something surprising I found out. This episode is kind of considered the Goku Black versus Reverse Flash of this season because it was that one-sided. Do you guys agree with that?
Not necessarily because, well, Megatron did have plenty of win cons going.
And also, I would like to point out, Jean versus Norin is right there.
Okay, don't get me wrong. After watching this episode, and with the versions, let's be clear about this, people. The versions of Megatron I can buy, Frieza could beat. Actually, that reminds me. So, my reaction isn't out yet. I'm going to explain why my reaction is going to be coming out later in the future. I was really surprised to learn the origin of why Frieza was created by Akira Toriyama. I did not know that's what Frieza was meant to represent.
Okay, so...
He's not wrong.
Did a real estate speculator, like, sell Akira Toriyama a bug-infested house?
Probably.
That would explain a lot, actually.
It really would. Because my idea was that...
It doesn't explain Boo, though.
My idea was that he's based on Darth Sidious because Akira Toriyama, fun fact, is a huge Star Wars nerd. In fact, you might see some references to it when you watch Dragon Ball. And most of the Z's are...
Also Xenomorph.
Oh yeah, like he's a big sci-fi nerd. Like, people are thinking like, oh, he's not that much of a nerd. Motherfucker has a stormtrooper helmet in the corner of his office.
Plus he did an art piece of prequel, like episode 1 Anakin.
Really?
Just because he wanted to.
Oh, that is sick. Yeah, I was a bit surprised to learn that origin. But yeah, the main point about this being one-sided. Did all of you forget Martian Manhunter vs. Silver Surfer came out?
I referenced that earlier. I just used their other names.
Oh, sorry, I didn't actually hear you. For some reason I thought you said Jean and Nora. I was just thinking...
Norin. Norin is his name, remember?
Yeah, it sounded like you said Jean or Nora, and I'm just like, wait,
yeah.
All those two have appeared in... Like, look, if Jean gets in, he's probably fighting soccer.
No, John...
Like, what the hell are you talking about?
John Jones and Norin
Okay.
Rad, okay? There you go.
Okay, so I think it was just a fuck up on your microphone, maybe.
God damn the both of you.
But, yeah, like, I don't see this as a one-sided episode. Now, obviously, if we were to compare every single Megatron, though my counter-argument would be you would also have to counter, you would have to composite Frieza because there are other versions of Frieza. I swear, people, me English good, me human, me never absorb Bill, me no imposter.
Though, if I remember right, I don't think Frieza has actually shown up in Heroes yet. Cooler has, and has a golden form, but I don't know if... At least no one cited Frieza showing up.
I think you could probably scale Frieza to, like, the main... like, the Xenoverse characters. Because he does fight them. And if you go by gameplay logic, how they designed it, if you do the whole Frieza saga, you have to grind as soon as you get to the boss fight for Frieza, because he whoops your ass. I will admit, Xenoverse 2, despite the opening was a clear recycle of the first game, cooler showing up.
Welcome to Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah, I will admit though, Cooler showing up as a side boss with Frieza was a pretty good twist. I don't care what people say. I'll die on that hill saying Cooler arrived and did catch me by surprise and was a good twist.
Also, just the movie villains showing up as part of the story in general.
Yeah. I will admit they did kind of try to use it again with the Super Saga with Frieza golden form, and then Cooler showed up again. It's like, look, guys, you got us the first time, you're not going to get us the second time.
Also, the big gay star is fucking stupid.
It is a very stupid gay star. But, yeah, I don't think this episode's one-sided. And I will admit, if people had issues with how they did Dragon Ball characters in Season 1, which, yes, there are still people complaining about Goku vs. Superman. It's like, get over it, people.
Shock.
But the fact they are showing, like, look, yes, Dragon Ball characters can move at light speed. That was, like, literally my only criticism about Majin Buu versus Kirby, is the fact they said, Majin Buu's never had to deal with light speed characters before. It's like, fucking bullshit, mate. But, yeah, they acknowledge it, like, oh, yeah, like, Goku could do all this. It's just like, honestly, if you needed more proof that the Death Battle research team has gotten better, this episode is proof of it.
Even though some people say it wasn't good for Megatron, to which there is a black box that said that any other material had to abide by rule number 4. Please read. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Maybe they could have, like, briefly talked about it with, but again, this goes into one thing we talked about in the past, where it's like, just what is important to write Wiz and Boomstick to say, and, you know, what should we put on the sidebar just to give that extra bit of info. Well, I admit as well, I do like the fact they kind of take the piss out of the fact how Frieza, despite killing all the Saiyans because he was scared of them, he missed the spot. It's just like, honestly, it's kind of like that whole game. Funny enough, referencing Star Wars again. It's kind of funny how these villains do this mass genocide yet. Like Darth Sidious, he tried to wipe out the Jedi, and there's a total of 30 survivors, more if you don't even count Legends. And Frieza's just missed so many Saiyans. It's like, yeah, man. As far as the king of genocide goes, you're kind of shit at your job.
And then there's, like, all the Namekians he missed.
Yep.
Well, I mean, but by the time they were all fighting, Piccolo was the only one left.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny, but obviously, you know, as the series goes on, originally Nappa, Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku were meant to be the only Saiyan survivors, but obviously retcons and stuff like that. Look, people, a series that goes on for a long time, there's gonna be some, like, retcons. Yeah,
like those two randos Saiyans that show up in the Broly movie, Broly and Paragus.
Obviously aren't important. And, oh god, I just got to it, and of course, I think Sean or Mate confirmed this in the last episode, we got the shockwave calculation back, people.
Who fucking Ray?
And, okay, look, I've tried to end it as much, but I can understand why people are getting so annoyed seeing this. It reminds me of when Cartoon Fight Club did Sans a lot, and they kept bringing up this same feat. It's just like, look, man, you fought him in 30 times. We know this feat.
No, here's what we do. Let's just do a DBZ era character, like Cell Wen. We've had Boo, we've had Frieza. Like, when's Cell getting an episode?
When would you put him up against Dark Samus? Because I think that's his only solid option left.
I've heard it's either. It's Dark Samus, Shadow the Hedgehog, but come on, man, he's already had enough episodes.
No, like, Samus.
It was a unique one. Oh, Metal Sonic. That's actually one I kind of pushed for years ago. But I think they had to do Archie Metal Sonic. Because if you just go by games, nah, I don't think Metal Sonic's going to last a second against Cell.
Also, Dark Samus would give Metroid another go.
I suppose, yeah, there's not many Metroid characters I'm that interested in. Aside Ripley, but no idea who.
Ridley.
Yeah, wait, is it? Yeah, it's Ridley.
Ripley's from Alien.
Oh. Yeah, that's... Well, I mean, at least I kind of got it right. But,
Yeah,
but
only
back
difference
to this
is
episode.
you inverted the P that was supposed to be the D in their name. That's all you did.
Anyway, you know what's similar to the Alien movie? One of Frieza's forms, which is on screen during his background, and I just want to briefly touch on likes Frieza Day. There's a TFS reference.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Hates Saiyans, stuffed animals, and Cooler. To be fair, he is a prick.
Yeah. I will say, I think Abridged Dragon Ball did make Cooler a little bit cooler. I don't know, I think Cooler's still an underrated villain.
When are they gonna make him canon? Like, when are they gonna give him the Broly treatment?
Never.
Nah, because I don't even think Akira Toriyama even liked him. I'm thinking he was just like a scrapped villain, but then they were like, oh, let's actually use him for his film. So it's like... And to be fair, though, it's like...
I mean, you say that. The reason the Broly movie exists is because Akira Toriyama forgot he designed Broly, looked over it again, and was like, you know what, I can actually make this good. And they did it.
Yeah, it's been many years since the Cooler movie, so obviously opinions can change after like 2 or 1 year, so I'd say maybe 20 years or 30 years, and yeah, maybe he can make this work. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, obviously Dragon Ball's not going away anytime soon. And honestly, the only major Boomstick and Wiz highlight from the end, including the Megatron one, I don't really have much to say about the Megatron one, except for the ending analysis when it came to describing them. But for me, the highlight was Boomstick accidentally killing Wiz's goldfish.
I didn't understand that at all. I was like, what?
Okay, it's because Beerus and Whis have this, like, fish in a bowl on a stick that can like, predict the future or something.
Yeah.
That sounds
Look,
stupid.
Sean, listen, every time I just love every time me and mate have had to explain some Dragon Ball lore to Sean, he just goes silent after hearing it.
How does one process this pot, this cauldron of Dragon Ball shenanigans?
Yeah, I don't think we're really selling Sean on Dragon Ball.
No one.
No,
is.
we're not. But Kier had an idea on how we could maybe get him into Abridged.
You've not even seen the abridged one, Sean?
No.
Oh, you need to, man. They're so
Bill,
good.
we're working on it.
Both of you. Both of you.
We have an episode in mind.
Both of you shut
Just
the
leave it at that.
up about that.
Oh my god. First, it's hard to get mate into DC. Now I have to get Sean into Dragon Ball. Ironically, both franchises start with a D. I'm noticing a pattern here.
And people get mad people just get mad when you put them together.
Actually, funny enough,
Specifically in Death Battle.
another franchise that begins with a D that Sean's actually trying to get me into is Dungeons and Dragons. So I guess each one of us has like a D we want to give the other.
Phrasing.
I didn't have the soundboard open. I could just add it in then. But yeah, aside that, Megatron analysis was pretty good. I'll let you guys give your thoughts and we can move on to the fight.
I think both analysis were pretty solid overall. Like nothing that was like wow or interesting for me. And like either one. Megatron's story towards the end, I do agree was pretty cool how they wrapped it up with a pretty metal bow.
Yeah. I also just like the final line that they gave for Frieza's analysis, that He'll rule the universe with an iron grip and a heart of ice.
A nice callback.
And yeah, bringing up all the stuff about Megatron turning good, how there's more to this villain than meets the eye, and by the end of it all, he just had to transform.
I will say it was kind of. I mean, Bro Buskers kind of dived into it, but obviously not want to spoil too much of it. It was kind of interesting how Megatron kind of went through a redemption arc. It's the fact that he fought for freedom, but then he just lost his way. I'll be honest, I just did not expect that from Megatron. I really thought we were getting two petty villains against each other.
I mean, it took him 9 million years to come to that decision.
Yeah, true. It is still pretty cool though. Like, we got essentially two really well-written villains. We have one who's just a pure dick and just an evil but charismatic type of villain you just love to hate, but also love to see him in action. Whereas Megatron is, while entertaining villain, there's a deeper meaning behind him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's always hard to write a villain who's so evil but enjoyable, and a villain who's has good intention but does these bad things. Like, I remember Falcon Winter Soldier tried to have that with the terrorist group, but
Oh, the Flag Smashers?
yeah, something like that. It's been a while since I've watched the show. Even though I love that show, the villains just. I'm sorry, look, you want things to go back to where they were, but it's like you can't fully make a good argument, and plus you kind of refer to people who died was not important enough. It's like, yeah, writing redeemable villains or just villains with good intentions is hard, and it's very rare to see a really good one. After listening to Megatron's analysis, I might actually go ahead and read those comic books.
Also, I agree with Boomstick. Megatron transforming into that gun looks silly.
Oh god, I remember when Bro Buskers brought that up and I was just like, why does he talk to it?
I remember watching it in the movie with him.
It looks like those old school Nintendo zappers for Duck Hunt.
Oh my god, it does.
Actually, I want to slow it down because I had a question about what's the trigger, and upon slowing it down, let's just say I think my theory came into fruition. Just all I'm saying is look where the handle is and look. Just watch the video very slowly, and you will see where the trigger comes out of. That's all I'm saying, people.
Jesus Christ, Bill, you're addicted to that.
I'm just saying.
I see what you did there.
Mate, all I'm saying is my joke theory ended up becoming a reality theory.
Okay, this is just getting nuts.
Oh god. But anything else you guys want to talk about? Any highlights in the Megatron analysis?
The ending was it's mostly the ending, I think, that was really good for Megatron's analysis.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've all said our piece about the analysis portion of this fight.
More or less.
So let's actually talk about the fight itself, and
Yay!
okay, first of all, I know my reaction is late, people, except, well, by the time this portion of this recording comes out, my reaction will be out. I giggled when I heard Frieza's voice.
The live chat, when I was watching it with the Death Battle cast live,
They got him!
they all popped off when they heard Frieza's first line of dialogue.
Just, oh my god, little Karibo has still got it after all these years.
I mean, he's still voicing Frieza in Hiffle.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, like, he's still got it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not voiced it, I'm just saying he's still got that Frieza voice.
That's probably honestly the best part of this animation. It's just the banter between Frieza and Megatron.
Yeah, I love that whole opening. Just the whole, like, I claim your world as my own. Cheer for me or face annihilation. I would sooner see my planet turn to ash than reside in your filthy hands, organic scum. I love it when they monologue back.
Y'all should have seen Mate's reaction before the podcast. He actually tried to imitate the Frieza motion for the supernova too.
Oh, like you kind of giggled like a bridged Alucard in that moment.
You, Maiden Fireball were so giddy over Frieza.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you know.
It's mostly because they both love Little Karibo.
Yeah. Like, Little Karibo's his own Frieza. Like, he's good Frieza, and obviously many people still debate who is the best voice for Frieza. And but if I just say, Little Karibo's in second place for me.
I can understand why.
Well, so let's be real. Like, in terms of just hearing him in Death Battle, it's this and one other episode. Like, it's not likely we're gonna see him in anything else.
I don't know. And also, the animation style, man, Devil Artemis. So this is his first Death Battle on Blender.
It is,
And his first Dragon Ball Death Battle.
It is him going solo. It is him going solo. Like, everything was done by him. Visual effects, visual post. That was all Devil Artemis.
And before anyone says anything, no, the Vegeta vs. 4DBX didn't happen.
Unfortunately, you have to take the good and the bad sometimes, mate.
I'll be honest, I don't think that DBX was terrible. I just think there was just some editing choices and frame rate issues they just didn't patch up. It did get re-released much better, and I do think it's an entertaining episode. Obviously, if we had to compare this to that little... Or was that just Devil Artemis just, like, practicing? I think it's an unfair comparison. But saying that, yeah, this episode is really good. The music's great, and at first I was a little bit thrown off because the way they were building up Megatron's shield, where even though it seems weak that, oh, if you can go through it, they were building it up like it was this really good, ingenious trap, but he used it very quickly and then quickly sent Frieza out of it. I'm just like, I was thinking that would have been a very good fake out, which to be fair, they do a very good fake out later on, but I feel honestly, like that would have been a really great fake out.
A lot of people, from what I heard, thought that was going to be towards the end of the fight.
I thought so too, really.
I mean, with how they were describing it and how everyone was talking about the panic bubble being a really good thing for his arsenal, yeah, you can understand why.
Yeah, they were building it up. It'll be like, I don't know, like picturing like something like Super Saiyan 4 Goku for Goku vs Superman. Imagine if he immediately went into Super Saiyan 4. It's like, what? Obviously, that's a hypothetical scenario, and it would be very bad if they did that, but I don't know, the way they were building it up, I was really expecting it to come to some really good fake out moment, like something like Booster Gold versus Cable did, where, you know, the shield was closing in. I thought they were going to try to recreate something like that, but then Frieza breaks out of it. What's even funny is that Megatron kind of helped Frieza by punching him out of it. So it's like, well, sorry mate, you kind of doomed your planet.
Yeah. Also, just, dude, huge props to Devil for the amount of Dragon Ball shots he recreated.
Oh, there was too many to count.
So many!
I'll put some on screen for people in case you're wondering like which shots.
I think everyone got hyped with the Golden Frieza transformation, though. Especially with how the music is in the background as it's transforming.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Brandon for this track.
Final Formers! No, that's actually what it's called.
Okay, dumb name, but really good music.
I mean, Deceptive Tyrants was already taken, but it got referenced in this track.
I mean, true. But, the other highlights as well for me was Megatron freaking shooting back the Death Ball. Like, I did not see that coming at the start of this fight. I was thinking he was going to dodge it, Cybertron gets destroyed, and that's when the fight starts. Like, Megatron's like super pissed.
He's like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or just the way like he shoots himself backwards as the tank just so he could fire back at the bigger Death Ball.
I've seen people be like, since when could he do that? Because fuck you, that's when.
Yeah, I don't recall him being able to do that, but does that mean it was... I mean, at the same time...
Rule of cool.
Yeah. It's like, Chosen Undead's never been able to wield 2 lightning rods, yet it was still cool to see it. And this is on that same banister. It's like, you know what? I didn't know I needed to see a tank do that, and yet I'm happy it did.
And then Frieza just with telekinesis is just like, get over here, Cybertron.
That threw me off. I was like, oh shit.
Freaking moment. The way he does it so casually with like 2 fingers too.
Frieza's just such a cool villain. And
Go ahead, Bill.
the other highlight for me is obviously him busting out his golden form. Again, recreating a shot from the movie.
So shiny.
And yeah, at first I was thinking like Megatron was just going to transform and just like, I don't know, get out of the way. And I know we've talked about Little Creep a lot, but who was the voice actor for Megatron?
Tom Schultz.
Tom Schultz.
That screech when he goes, "My planet!" I was like, whoa, okay, he's pissed.
I feel bad that I was talking over that.
Yeah, it was such a good line, and he truly sounded like a man who just witnessing his planet get destroyed.
Look, Tom Schultz has insane rage, as we already know.
I know, but I was really thinking.
I mean, his last role was SpongeBob.
No, his last.
Oh
no,
Let that sink in.
no, that was not his last role, mate. His last role was in Dark Souls vs. Skyrim.
Okay, regardless of that, Sean, the fact he's also
Anyway.
voiced SpongeBob.
Also, I meant as a combatant.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that is funny. But it's just that line delivery, like.
Before that, wasn't it Omni-Man?
Yeah.
Is that Omni-Man? Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Small world. But
He had another one before that. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was it was Dio and Kool-Aid Man, wasn't it?
Yes and yes.
Yeah. Also, hey, I guess Little Karibo ended Tom Schultz's win streak.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Congrats.
we kind of already revealed it at the start of this episode, but yes, Frieza won, and I was shocked to see many people in the comments, even reactions, were saying, we kind of saw this coming. I was just thinking to myself, I don't know, I was kind of unsure when I was
Yeah.
discussing in my reaction, like,
Yeah, no, because, like,
especially the black hole thing. I was thinking, oh, he can actually bring a black hole here. That's that's
yeah, because
a little scary.
So I just want to explain. I interpreted the antimatter as just like, if it touches Frieza at all, dead.
kind of like the truth-seeking
Yeah.
ones.
Basically,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware it had to, cover him.
I think,
Now-
That thought just didn't cross my mind. I thought the moment it touches him, dead. So
well, also to keep in mind, this debate was kind of split, honestly. Like, even, granted, the G1 prediction blog sided with Megatron in a vast majority, but it was still, like, one-sided, because common consensus for something like Mate's poll, for example, was Frieza, whereas something like the G1 blog went for Megatron, so you can make arguments for both.
I did hear they did composite Megatron a lot in that one. But,
I think they counted that manga where he merged multiverses together.
I think it was that we're trying to figure out what Death Battle would consider based on their rules.
Which I will just throw this out there. If that was brought into this episode, Megatron absolutely would have won.
yeah, I can somewhat see that. I don't know. I think Frieza could still put up a good fight. I just think it would be much more harder to decipher.
You know what I found funny, though? Like, looking back on the
It's gotta be
animation,
decipher.
Frieza gets a dramatic transformation to Golden Frieza. To Black Frieza, I'm just gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Well, thing is, with that moment, he brings out in sheer anger because how dare you talk down to me,
I know.
Lord Frieza?
I know, but I find it funny.
It is pretty funny, but it's very in character. When Frieza gets really pissed off, like, people always like to say, like, oh, he doesn't take fights seriously. No, you piss him off, he's gonna fuck you up. With little effort.
It kind of
yes.
reminded me of the Life Arrow video we brought up in the prediction. It's just like, you made the iPhone, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Megatron had a Nokia, he would have won. God, no, I want someone to do an edit where, like, Megatron, when he turns into his tank, he goes gold disc, and it just fires a Nokia at him.
Death Battle alternate. Someone should make that as a meme today. Death Battle alt ending. Gold disc. Oh, wait a minute.
If someone actually animates that, if someone actually animates that, we'll invite them on as a guest.
Yeah. Just Megatron, hold that L, you idiot. Starscream, good job, Megatron.
No, it would be like
but-
one of the other villains, like Cell, and then when they go, "Are you friends with that guy?" No.
Oh yeah.
No, it ends with Frieza like opening his eyes. And he just sees Goz and Mez. Guten Morgen, Frieza. Welcome back.
Okay. Okay, we're procrastinating a lot, but it's a fun conversation. Now, okay, I will say, similar to Stitch versus Rocket, yes, if Frieza was fully hit by this attack, he's fucking dead. But that's just one win condition out of more that Frieza has, and it's kind of funny, we never really considered this when we were doing a prediction. The size actually did kind of play a factor. Megatron's a much more bigger target, so he would be easier to hit for Frieza. It's like,
yeah, we were kind of joking
I never
about
considered
this.
that.
We were just joking about the size comparison in the animation between the two, and it's just like, wait, being smaller means you can't hit me.
Yeah, it's just
Dude.
like, oh, yeah.
That's just another reason I want Juggernaut versus Archie Knuckles.
Do you think he could have hit him if he actually got his wish and became 5 centimeters taller? I made a Dragon Ball funny.
I was, credit to you. You don't watch the series, but you definitely know the humor.
I'm learning.
Let's be fair. Frieza's got a wish, like, most of his body back.
Yeah, like...
I reckon
guess
regen it. He did that before.
Okay, I guess that's a good segue into the death, and... It's not a terrible death.
My God,
it's
what a
not
fake
terrible.
out, though.
It was a good fake out.
Yeah, I won't lie. I was kind of blinded by approaching anger when I was watching because I was under the impression of, like, you know, how the antimatter worked. If it touches him, dead. So I was thinking to myself, you did not just have him go Black Frieza only to have him immediately die. That's stupid. And then Megatron got cut in half.
Yeah, though that actually goes into my 3 criticisms I actually do have in this section. One, as cool as it was a reference to when Frieza was, you know, cut in half in the Z Saga, I'm sorry, it was really hard to take him seriously when he is just a floating torso, especially when he does that big line. I'm sorry, he just looked too silly. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, you know, they kind of blend silly and awesomeness together. This is just weird, though.
I mean, it is just a giant callback to that moment after Goku gave him his energy. You will die by my hand, you fool!
Yeah, okay, good callback, I do agree. The other aspect now, I do say this in my reaction, writing a robot death, you can't really make it brutal because, well, who's going to get squeamish seeing a robot get destroyed?
Unless you go like a Sector and do like a giant crusher or something like that, or something similar like MKX's with Triborg's fatality.
I guess, but I meant in terms of like seeing a robot get killed. Like, you know, Megatron sliced in half. The other thing is kind of, this goes into my next complaint about it. He gets cut in half, and Megatron just doesn't really seem, he doesn't seem annoyed, scared. He just kind of just looks like he just had a little trip. Which
He looks pissed to me.
Let me just get let me look at the shot of it when he's on the floor.
I mean, when he like pulls himself up.
Even in the shot I'm looking at, he just looks as though he's like, ah, shit. Like he looks like he has the face of someone who just like had a little trip and he's just like, oh god damn it. I mean, obviously, you know, Transformers get dismembered all the time. I mean, hell, Megatron's actually been blasted to pieces and to the point he's only just like an arm, a leg, and a head. No, wait, no, that was Optimus Prime I'm thinking of. But yeah, like, Transformers have been dismembered before and it's kind of an inconvenience because, well, they're robots, you know. But, I don't know. The idea of Frieza blowing up the planet, honestly, in character of Frieza, he would do that in a fight.
With a Destructo disc, by the way.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. The way it just cuts through the beam.
I could see someone do a fan edit with the Destructo dish and that giant explosion, and then from DBC Fighters go, dramatic finish!
Oh, I hope someone's done that.
No, here's what you need to do. You need to have the sound clip of Little Grievous Frieza going, Kien Structo disc! And then Krillin. The fuck?
You know, funny enough, when I was rewatching this episode again, when Yeah, let me go to my main point, then I'll end it with a joke. I want to be positive. I feel as though when Megatron's seen the beam come towards him, we should have seen like his head decapitated, and then we see the planet blow up. I think that would have saved the death for me. Because it always shows him just looking at disc, just like derp, and then the planet explodes, which I don't know, I just feel as though there was a part that it should have shown the head decapitated, and it's like a silhouette that you see like little purple blood from the Megatron, like they kind of do when he gets his torso cut off.
Sort of like what they did for Blake and Boba Fett.
Yeah, I just feel as though that was like, I don't know, just a missed opportunity there. The other Joker...
Although I'm paused on his face, it's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
No, the joke I was thinking of before we recorded was the freaking My Wave sung by Sal. I'm just picturing Megatron singing that.
If someone could commission someone in a Megatron voice,
I did it, my...
funny.
Oh, god damn it! But...
Can we get Tom Schultz to actually do that cover? Do we have that kind of power?
I don't know. Should we try and reach out? But... Yeah, do you know what? Those three nitpicks aside, I still think this episode's good. I think I'd probably rank this... It's not in the top 5 for me, but I have gone back to rewatch it a lot of times, mainly for the fight, obviously, but... You know, it's still a solid episode. Like, I can't really think of anything that made it a quote-unquote bad episode.
I mean, there is one thing that I would have liked to see be added to the end analysis. Like, they mention Megatron being plugged into the Omni Globe and commanding so many battles all at once. Could we have, I don't know, gotten a number for, how quick he would have had to have been thinking to, process all that? Kind of like what we had with Stitch.
Yeah, not that they kind of did that with Alex Mercer, with Cole versus Alex, deciphering, he managed to look into all these, lives of his victims in, this many seconds, but yet Megatron's not... In fact, Optimus Prime got the calculation, which I did think was a nice little callback showing him with Optimus Prime. Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree, experience and,
experience
goes to Megatron.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it just feels like they didn't really touch on that, in terms of, who won. Whereas I feel as though...
I mean, they brought that up in the end analysis.
Yeah, but they kind of just glossed over it. Overall, I still think the episode is good. I honestly have no bad things to say about it.
I think overall, it had a good animation. The analysis could have been a little better, but it's number 6 on my list if I were to give a placement right now.
Honestly, it's currently fighting Bill versus Discord for the top spot on mine.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it was a good episode. I have only a few gripes, and that's mainly in the fight. Overall, if I really had to give a number right about, I'd say probably an 8 out of 10. Right. That's how high I would have it.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a black box I want to shout out. I'm letting the analysis play out, so hopefully I can get to it soon. There it is. Ironically, a gold Megatron form exists, though it's in part of an entirely different canon than the American G1 and IDW continuities. He looks hype, though.
I believe it.
It's the fact they put in that he looks hype, though.
DJ Tika was just like, I like it.
But, yeah, in all honesty, that's all I can really say. I have nothing else. Do you guys have any final comments before we saw our competition away?
I also both like and dislike the end of the end analysis. It's like, Megatron was cool, but Frieza was cooler.
That pun was bad.
I mean, when has Death Battle ever made a good pun?
A few times. Guts vs. Demetri had a really solid one.
Also, Sable vs. John Talbane.
Yeah, so,
Now I believe this because there's a lot.
Yes.
is that all you got, mate?
Yeah, at least on this episode.
Shawnee, do you have any highlights for this? Or is there anything you might have saw, man, for next time?
You making the same joke already? Jesus, I didn't know you ran out of material that fast.
Yeah, it sounds like you're
what-
trying to chain a bunch of stuff together.
I was about to say that, you fucker!